Hello everyone, I'm Wendell Jones and welcome to this edition of the program, The Platform. On this program we examine the national issues of the Bahamas, and I've made a commitment to Bianca Nygard that over the next few weeks that I'm going to be speaking with her on various aspects of life in our country and talking about Nygard Key and her father's entrepreneurial pursuits, not only here in the Bahamas but around the world. And so she's been with me for the last few weeks, and today we are going to talk about, guess what, sports, boxing, and matters of health. Bianca, nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You are looking healthy yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Your father has put you on a regimen.
Well, he always encourages everybody around him to take care of themselves and try to get in the best shape they could be in.
Yes, we showed last week, I believe, Nygard Key and a whole lot of activities going on there. It's more than, it's a sporting complex down there in a way, because you have volleyball and many other activities, tennis and all the rest of it, eh?
Right, yeah, so we have volleyball and tennis and basketball, and then all of the water sports, kayaking and boating, we do water skiing, everything.
And I am told that the volleyball games can go on very late at night.
Oh, well, my father's so dedicated to his working out, and he needs to do that every day no matter what. So if he starts, if he needs to, and he has to start at 12, it could go till 2 in the morning or whenever he finishes. But he's dedicated to working out every day.
Yeah, we've had the conversations on radio about health insurance and the need for Bahamians to be healthy and to stay healthy, and how important exercise is to the healthcare needs of our country. And I believe that Peter Nygard is very, very interested in supporting Bahamians who are into fitness.
Oh, yes, that's right. He's very into supporting athletes in particularly. The reason why is because athletes, he says, has a goal and they work to achieve their goals, and they're dedicated and do whatever it takes to get to that next level where they need to be. Mm-hmm. And then, so he loves to help people that are willing to help themselves also,
mm-hmm. So in addition to the volleyballers who come to Nygard Key, he has spent a great deal of time and money on Bahamian boxers.
Oh, yeah. Well, he loves boxing because my grandfather really was an avid boxing fan.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that's what got him into boxing also. But he found a couple key people which he really wanted to take under his wing and help bring them to achieve their goals, and especially Olympic goals. My dad's all about Olympic athletes, so I have a couple of people that now would say that I would be like their sister, because they consider my father like their father, because he's helped them out along with their parents too to achieve their goals, which is
Wellington
nice.
Miller, who is the president of the Olympic Association, he has been to Nygard Key on numerous occasions for the presentation of checks and to talk about sports in the Bahamas. And so your father has spent a considerable amount of money supporting the various Olympic teams over the last 40 years, eh?
Yes, that's true. Well, he was a big part of helping out the Golden Girls. That's where I think it might have first started.
Yes.
And then it continued with the Golden Knights. And even there's going to be the Chris Brown Invitational is coming up right now. Chris Brown, he's really put under his wing in particularly also. So I'm be happy to support that now and attend. And then it went into the boxing. And so, yeah.
Yeah. When I saw the London Olympics, I saw photographs of your father with a huge Bahamian flag in the spectators stand.
Yeah.
And cheering away when the Golden Knights won their gold medal. So he was more enthusiastic about that than most Bahamians, eh?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say the most Bahamians, but he's definitely supporting, and he was so happy to wear those colors, the Bahamian flag colors,
Well, I
and the
say that because
tracksuit.
he made a special trip to London.
Yes.
And he was dressed in the Bahamian flag.
Right.
He was waving a Bahamian flag.
Brought a whole team with him.
And he had a whole crew of people with him.
That's right.
And so while Bahamians were very happy that their people won, he just went overboard. And then he came back to Nassau and presented each of the young men with checks.
Yes, he wanted to encourage them, and he said that he would give them a certain amount of money if they got whatever medals they got. And actually, I think he put it out there for other businessmen to do the same thing and to match him so that they could end up having a lot of money to be able to further their life. And their athletic dreams.
I believe that each of those Golden Knights got a very handsome check.
Yes, yeah. Well, it always makes it much more worthwhile, I guess, to continue your very early morning workouts and keep on going. And now you have a little money incentive to go along with it.
You think the contribution that Peter Nygard made to sports and is still making to sports in the Bahamas, you think people are aware of it as they should be? Because I recall in the 2000 Olympic Games, he put out a challenge to the business community to raise funds.
Right.
And I was a part of a group of Bahamians who decided to take up this challenge. And he said that he would match whatever we did. And we raised around $200,000.
That's great. And I think, weren't you working really hard to raise more money so then he would match it?
Yes, yes.
And yeah, it's a good idea.
And so there was a banquet at the Sheraton Hilton, and of course he came there and he matched it. And so the Bahamas Olympic Association was in a position that they were able to take the athletes to the 2000 games very comfortably,
That's so nice. I know my father always gets such a thrill out of seeing people succeed in that kind of a way, especially he was an athlete himself, so he knows personally what it takes to be able to do that, and then he knows personally how hard you have to work to actually get to be able to qualify for the Olympics and be there with the best of the best, He really wants to do anything he can to support that.
But there are some things that he does that he doesn't really have to do. And there are some people in our audience who might get the impression that, well, there's always a quid pro quo, or that Peter Nygard looks for something in return. He cannot be looking for anything in return when he sponsors a whole volleyball team or a whole Olympic team, or he sponsors the whole boxing federation. And the young man who is doing so well in boxing today, Tariano, came on this program and said, had it not been for Peter Nygard, he would not be where he is. And Nygard spent a considerable amount of money sending him to Cuba and paying for his expenses to live in Cuba for a long period of time while he was being trained.
That's right. Tariano's one person that considers me like a sister, because he says my father really helped him out that way. And, it just touches my dad's heart. He considers them like his extended family, and, it's he's proud, to see somebody really achieve their goals like that. And there's a lot of things that he does without anything happening back for him, because he's a good person, really, and so especially in the sports world, he gets a thrill out of that.
And Tariano is doing extremely well internationally now, isn't he?
Yes, he always has been. Yeah, my dad saw potential in him and helped him to go to Cuba, but he never expected Tariano to come out quite as humble and grateful and wonderful person as he is. He's a very good spokesperson, and he's very kind, and he's a good role model for kids, and he's just excelled beyond anybody's dreams. I mean, it's very exciting to see, you know.
Peter Nygard himself has been involved in, he plays volleyball himself.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yes? He showed us some photographs of before he started playing volleyball and the kind of physique that he now has. So he had quite a stomach on him before he started playing ball. And at his age now, but what, 74, I think it is?
Yes, well, he's 74. Well, he was always an athlete. He was playing tennis before then, but his knees gave out on him. And he was playing volleyball all the time, consistently. But what was wrong was his eating habits. So he was always playing volleyball. He looked actually good for his age at that time. People said, you look good for your age. But now he looks like good for, compared to a 30-year-old or something, you know. He's got pecs and a six-pack and muscles, but he is 74. And then he gets a thrill out of kind of challenging these young men and say, how many push-ups can you do? And then they have to try to beat him, and he's 74 and doing, you know, outdoing some of them and stuff. So he gets a real thrill out of that.
Yeah, so he's quite a health buff because in addition to seeking to stay fit, he has decided that he wanted to really invest in stem cell research and therapy, and not only in the Bahamas but around the world. And so there's a vision to get involved in every aspect of health, eh?
Well, yes, my father has really always been a visionary type of a person, and he's been a leader in the way that he's in his offices. Let's say, for example, there used to be smoking allowed around everybody, right? And he stopped a long time ago in the 70s. He said, no smoking around me. And everybody was up in arms about, what? No smoking? You can't tell us where we could smoke or where we can't. He said, yeah, no smoking around me. Now, you see, there's no smoking everywhere, right? But people were very upset about this in the beginning. Now, a long time ago, he stopped all sodas and candy bars and chips and stuff in all of the vending machines or wherever in his facilities around the world. And so people again are like, wait, you're going to stop me from drinking my soda? How could you stop me from drinking my soda? And now you see that everybody's on a health kick, and everybody knows how bad soda is and chips are, and you're seeing it's, you know, contributing to this huge weight problem and health problem around the world. So now he's getting into the stem cells, and people are like, what, stem cells, you know? And then, but now you see him, and you see that stem cells are actually going in and doing miraculous things, fixing people's arteries and hearts and stuff, and you see the way he looks, and he's going backwards and stuff, so now everybody's like, well, maybe you're right, maybe you're onto something again,
yes,
you know?
Yes, and he's employed quite a number of professionals in that particular area. And from time to time attending conferences with them, and they are advising him on this whole matter of stem cell research and therapy in China as well as in the Bahamas and around the world. Eh?
Right. Well, he really has dove into it. He studies it all the time. He gets advice from everybody, you know, and he tries out things on himself. He's testing it out on himself because he's right on the leading edge of it, you know. So sometimes you'll make a mistake or whatever, but, you know, you do your own research and figure out what's good for you. And funny enough, really what's good for you, it goes back to what everybody's been doing here for a long time, like bush medicine. Bush medicine is the best for you. This neem and cerasee and everything, it's wonderful for you, you know. Yeah. So that's what we're really finding out, and it's all of these chemically made things that it's really what we have to cut out and get back to nature and start being active again and get fit and strong.
Didn't you start a little farm in the back of your yard? How is that going? Or your brother? I think one of your brothers came on one program that I did and was getting involved in all aspects of, well, vegetable farming.
Right. Yes. Well, my brother Kai actually started that. He took some rocks and he put them there and built like a whole stairway, and each one is a different bed, and it's all organic. We mix neem and Spanish thyme to do our bug spray that keeps away the bugs. And we're finding out that you plant onions on the side that helps to prevent the snails from coming in or the other insects. So it's a trial and error type thing. But I'm finding I have such an abundance of stuff. If you want, I have tons, more than I can eat. Yeah, lemongrass grows so easy and like crazy. My tomatoes, my cucumbers are the biggest cucumbers I've ever seen. It's so wonderful. It's like it's been so much fun to go in there and see what we could get. And then we have so many herbs and everything. And my children are always making fun of me. They think I'm like a witch brewing my pot, because I'm like, okay, kids, we're going to be having neem today. And, this is your magic cure. And they feel like it's their magic cure to get well, which it is,
So your father has gotten all of you involved in organic farming now, eh?
Yeah, so we're trying to all be involved with that too.
Trying to stay healthy.
And the difference in taste is amazing. Also, you like for me, I could kind of get bored with this. It's been hard for me to just eat healthy, so you have to play with it and figure out nice healthy meals that you like and do things that you enjoy. And it's a lot more fun to get involved and grow your own stuff and then make your own food from what you grew. It makes it more fun to eat, actually.
Yeah. So there is a tremendous focus on healthy living.
Right.
In the Nygard, at Nygard Key, as well as his operations around the world.
Yes, being healthy and also helping people and doing the next best thing. That's what it's always been about.
Yeah. We are going to watch a boxing video in a minute. Carlos Mackey has been involved in promoting various sports in the Bahamas, and I believe that he had an interview with your father and others at Nygard Key.
Yes, with my father and Chuchu Mackey and Ray Minus, and that was in 2009, actually.
2009.
Yes.
And so all of these people who have been in the world of boxing, so to speak, they have developed a very close relationship with Peter Nygard, eh?
Yes, they have. A lot of all athletes, and actually many people, it's so many people in the Bahamas have actually been to our house or know my dad personally, and so it's nice that hundreds of people have actually been there.
Yes. Okay, let's take a break here. We are on the platform, and Bianca Nygard is with me today, and we are going to be speaking with her on various aspects of life at Nygard Key and on the entrepreneurial pursuits of her father. And after this break, we are going to be watching and listening to an interview on the sport of boxing between Carlos Mackey, Peter Nygard, and others. We take this break, we'll come right back.